Jake, I'm wondering, kind of from a, I want to take it back to a Revolutionary War period. There was the Black Robe Regiment, as you know, the clergy and the political, or excuse me, the religious leaders that spoke about the cultural, political, ideological, moral issues of the day from the pulpit, from the sanctuary. How crucial do you see that in turning around America? Because ultimately, if they silence voters of people of faith, then we're all doomed.
You know, David, I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the things that even some well-educated Americans get wrong about the founding fathers and the way they looked at religion was that Thomas Jefferson, who was really one of the biggest leaders in the whole idea of the separation of church and state. Now, he was a famous agnostic, but a lot of people mistakenly think that he was worried about the church somehow corrupting the government. He was actually a little bit more worried about government corrupting the church. Remember, the founding fathers had a very good memory about the whole period of King Henry VIII in Great Britain and how basically he destroyed the church system in that country so that he could have his divorce and he could become the head of the church and the whole thing like that. So it's important to understand that while, yes, we want to make sure that the church doesn't have an undue influence on the government, it's just as likely, and I think today, David, more likely for the government to be, and politics, to be infesting our churches and our synagogues and other houses of worship. You see so many people in the clergy in all the major religions who are just basically like woke prophets. They don't really talk about the Bible anymore or the eternal morality of the Judeo-Christian and even Islamic outlook on life. So we need them to not go. Obviously, we don't want them to go and campaign for candidates or even tell us what party to vote for. But they need to remind us of a couple of things. For example, the fact that these universities are corrupted now with anti-Semitism should have been predicted, especially by religious leaders, a long time ago. As soon as the universities started their DEI programs and their affirmative action programs, which run against the core religious belief of meritocracy. In other words, your good deeds and bad deeds. That's how we're going to judge you, not by your skin color, not by your birth order, not by your gender. As soon as that started to happen, it should have been the religious leaders first who stood up and said, hey, we're in big trouble. If our universities are doing this, they're going to come for us real soon. And that is a way that they can do that without campaigning for a candidate or breaking the laws of the government.